This is a delicate subject to talk about because the story is much more complicated than has been presented. At the time that President Kennedy announced his intention to put man on the moon, he knew perfectly well that it would be quite impossible using conventional rocket technology that was available at that time. However, he had been informed that what is called the Secret Space Program, SSP, had for a long time been in contact with alien beings who had been using the moon as a base for a considerable length of time. So, to appear to be in advance of other nations in this race to be the first to go to the moon, he also had to know that the alien technology existed. So a plan was hatched to appear to send man to the moon using conventional technology, but actually using alien technology to achieve that goal. Equally, in case anything went terribly wrong and to avoid having to admit to failure, a setup was created in a film studio, and before any attempt to send an astronaut out into space, a complete film was created so that success was assured. It was assumed that no one would question what was shown on TV as it looked fairly convincing. Now, of course, people are starting to see through the filmed illusion, but, at the time, it was accepted as true. Now to return to the actual visit to the moon. As was said, it was quite impossible for man, at the level of advancement that he was at the time, to get to the moon, so a plan was hatched with an alien race to have the astronauts taken to the moon using a UFO. So, indeed, the astronauts, or some of them, were taken to the moon to conduct certain scientific experiments. They only stayed a few hours because they were made unwelcome by reptilians who followed their every move.
So humans were taken to the moon, collected a few rocks as evidence of their journey, and then returned to Earth. Virtually all the film that was shown on TV came from the film produced on Earth. Actually, because of the extremes of hot and cold on the moon and other atmospheric anomalies, the cameras and photographic film used in them would not have functioned, as NASA already knew. So the answer to the question is, yes, some astronauts went to the moon, but in a UFO. They stayed a few hours and returned in the same UFO, but what people have seen of the visit was created and filmed on Earth. As one can imagine, the enormity of the lie had a profound effect on some of the astronauts. They went through a period of mind control that implanted false memories in their minds, which added to the confusion. However, it is perhaps time that the truth concerning this moon event is revealed to the public. How did the monitoring system in the control room work? The monitoring system was surprisingly simple. The technicians who thought they were monitoring the progress of the astronauts and the spacecraft were not sat in front of computer screens as one would use today. They were in front of small TV sets. Virtually all of these TVs were connected to a large bank of video recorders that were playing back film tape already pre-recorded, VHS. There were a sufficient number of these cassettes to last the length of the supposed journey, both to the moon, on the moon, and return. Obviously, as the cassettes were playing, putting information from the cassettes onto the television sets, the technicians watched and hopefully believed what they were observing. Most of these technicians had no means of interacting with the information being played. Their role was just to observe. Most of the cassette players were in pairs. As one cassette came to an end, the second cassette started, thus ensuring continuity of transmission. Thus it was that very few people were actually aware of the hoax. The technology required for such a feat simply did not exist at the time. The computers were primitive, the rockets unreliable, and the engineering challenges seemed insurmountable. Which alien group was involved in the deception? This alien group was in fact those that are referred to as Nordics, or tall whites. The very same group that was, supposedly, involved with the development of the Apollo space rockets. The ones helping the human technicians resolve problems were there, quite simply, to ensure that the project looked feasible. In exchange for their help, they were given access to land on the surface of the Earth and any buildings they required. In fact, any help they wanted in any domain. It was an impossible dream, at least by conventional means, a dream that required thinking beyond the known limits of science and technology.
I was aware of this. I knew that the path to the moon was not just a physical journey, but a journey of the mind and spirit. I understood that the path to the moon was fraught with technological hurdles, insurmountable with the tools at hand. The failures were many, and the successes were few and far between.
Whispers of a secret space program, one far more advanced than acknowledged, reached Kennedy's ears. This program was shrouded in mystery and secrecy. This program operated in the shadows, fueled by knowledge not of this world, knowledge that defied conventional understanding and opened new realms of possibility. Kennedy knew that if America were to reach the moon, it wouldn't be through rockets and fuel alone. It would require a leap of faith into the unknown. It would require something far more extraordinary, something that could bridge the gap between the impossible and the achievable.
The impossible dream was, in fact, a calculated gamble. A gamble that relied on the existence of advanced technologies and knowledge hidden from the public eye. I was betting on a truth hidden from the public, a truth that could change the course of history, a truth that involved alien technology and a clandestine alliance with beings not of this earth, beings whose knowledge and capabilities far surpassed our own. I knew that the fate of the free world, and perhaps humanity itself, hinged on the success of this audacious gamble. The moon landing was not just a mission, it was a testament to human potential and the mysteries that lie beyond our understanding.
The space race was not just a competition between superpowers, it was a collaboration with extraterrestrial beings. The Nordic aliens, with their advanced technology, played a pivotal role in guiding humanity's ventures beyond Earth.
We provided the necessary advancements in propulsion and navigation, ensuring the success of your missions. Our goal was to foster a partnership that would benefit both our civilizations.
This collaboration was kept secret, known only to a select few within the highest echelons of power. The true extent of this partnership remains one of the most closely guarded secrets of the 20th century. As the truth began to surface, efforts were made to silence those who knew too much. Astronauts once celebrated as heroes found themselves under intense scrutiny.
We were warned, threatened even to keep our experiences to ourselves. The world was not ready for the truth, they said. Our silence was the price of our continued freedom.
Humanity was deceived, kept in the dark about the true nature of our ventures into space. The narrative of exploration and discovery was only a part of the story. The reality was far more complex, a tapestry of secrets and lies woven into the fabric of our history.